Citizenship standards are tightening, detention centers are expanding, and even U.S. citizen children are at risk of deportation. A shocking immigration reset is happening right now. This is not speculation, it's already happening. This is Immiscope, your trusted source for U.S. immigration news, policy changes, and visa updates. Over the past few weeks, U.S. immigration has entered a new phase of enforcement. Four major developments are reshaping the future of citizenship, deportation, and immigrant rights. From new USCIS rules that could block naturalization, to a controversial Deportation Depot in Florida, to lawsuits over ICE actions against children, and even mass arrests in Washington, D.C., the stakes have never been higher. If you're applying for a green card, citizenship, or simply living in the U.S. without status, you need to hear this. USCIS tightens citizenship standards. The first major change comes directly from USCIS. Officials have announced tougher scrutiny of the good moral character requirement for naturalization. Previously, the evaluation focused on clear disqualifiers, things like serious crimes, immigration fraud, or long-term tax evasion. Now, USCIS says it will take a more comprehensive view, examining applicants' history in much greater detail. That means even smaller issues, such as unpaid taxes, a DUI arrest, or unresolved immigration violations, could now weigh against you. Here's what USCIS officers will be looking at more closely. Tax compliance. Unpaid or late taxes may raise red flags. Criminal history. Even minor offenses could now count against you. Immigration record. Past visa overstays or violations will be considered. The agency insists this is a holistic review. That sounds fair in theory, but in practice, it could create uncertainty. Different officers may interpret character differently, leading to longer delays and potentially more denials. This shift is especially significant for green card holders preparing to apply for citizenship. If you've had past legal issues, even if they were minor, you may now face additional questions or requests for evidence. The bottom line? Your full record matters more than ever before. Florida's new Deportation Depot. The second major development is in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis has announced the opening of a new state-run immigration detention center. Nicknamed the Deportation Depot, the facility will start with 1,300 beds and has the capacity to expand to 2,000. It will be staffed by National Guard units and private contractors, showing a clear move by the state into direct immigration enforcement. Supporters of the plan argue it improves public safety and eases pressure on federal resources. But critics say it creates a parallel deportation system, one where state forces work alongside ICE with fewer oversight mechanisms. This raises an important question. Could other states now follow Florida's example? If so, immigrants may face an entirely new wave of enforcement, not just from federal agents, but also from state governments. For immigrants living in Florida, the risk is immediate. A routine traffic stop, a workplace inspection, or even an encounter with local law enforcement could now lead to state detention and eventual deportation. This expansion signals a new era. Deportation infrastructure is no longer just federal. It's becoming a state project. ICE lawsuit. U.S. citizen children deported. The third development is perhaps the most alarming. A new lawsuit in Louisiana accuses ICE of unlawfully deporting families, including U.S. citizen children. In April 2025, 2 mothers and 4 children were placed on a plane to Honduras. Among them were 3 U.S. citizens and a child suffering from stage 4 kidney cancer. According to the lawsuit, these families were deported without proper hearings, without access to lawyers, and without any consideration of the children's medical needs. If true, this represents a massive violation of rights. Not only does it raise questions about due process, it challenges the very idea that citizenship guarantees protection. Advocates are calling this one of the most shocking examples of overreach in recent immigration history. The outcome of this case could set a powerful precedent for how ICE handles families in the future. For mixed-status families, where some members are citizens and others are undocumented. This case is a chilling reminder that everyone could be at risk. Mass immigration arrests in Washington, D.C. The fourth and final update takes us to the nation's capital. Following the Trump administration's federal takeover of Washington, D.C.'s police department, immigration enforcement has intensified dramatically. In just the first week, hundreds of people were detained. Reports show that about 40% were undocumented immigrants. Federal agents are now working directly with local police in joint patrols. These patrols have swept through neighborhoods, cleared homeless encampments, and conducted stops in public spaces. Supporters argue this is a necessary crackdown on crime and disorder. But critics, including DC's local officials, say it's an attack on the city's autonomy and a violation of civil rights. For immigrants living in DC, the consequences are serious. Everyday activities, commuting, shopping, or even walking in certain neighborhoods, now carry the risk of detention. This isn't just policy, it's a lived reality for thousands of immigrants in the nation's capital. Why this matters for you? Each of these developments connects back to one central reality. U.S. immigration enforcement is becoming tougher, broader, and less predictable. Citizenship applications may now face higher denial risks. Detention facilities are expanding at the state level. Families, even those with U.S. citizen children, may face unprecedented deportation threats. And in cities like Washington, D.C., joint patrols are reshaping daily life for undocumented residents. This is not just national news. It affects individuals, families, and communities on the ground. Tips and warnings. If you're a green card holder preparing to apply for citizenship, take action now. Pay any back taxes. Resolve pending court issues. Keep all documentation in order. If you live in a high enforcement state like Florida, know your rights during police or IC encounters. Always ask if you're free to leave. Do not sign documents you don't understand. And if you are undocumented, be especially cautious in areas with active patrols. Community organizations and legal aid groups can provide support if you or your family are at risk. USCIS is making naturalization harder through stricter reviews. Florida is building a massive new deportation facility. ICE is facing lawsuits for deporting U.S. citizen children. And D.C. is experiencing mass immigration arrests under federal control. The U.S. immigration landscape is shifting rapidly. Understanding these changes is the first step in protecting yourself and your loved ones. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching Immiscope. See you in the next video.